Hey, I'm Josh, the founder of the Accountability Group, and hi, I'm Josh. Still deeply in recovery and on a daily basis when my feet hit the floor, battling the diseases of addiction and mental health, and making sure that I have the intentional willingness to put in the effort and the work and think about making the right choices and doing the next right thing in order to protect my sobriety and protect myself. We're playing a little bit of catch up on readings, so we're going to start with the Daily Stoic. Today is August 28th for this reading, even though it is technically the 9th of September. We will catch up. I'm just going to keep doubling down or tripling down on these videos, but moving has taken a lot out of me. So here we go. August 28th, out of the Daily Stoic. The opulent Stoic. The founder of the universe, who assigned to us the laws of life, provided that we shall live well but not in luxury. Everything needed for our well-being is right before us, whereas what luxury requires is gathered by many miseries and anxieties. Let us use this gift of nature and count among it the greatest things. Seneca, Moral Letters. Even in his own time, Seneca was criticized for preaching Stoic virtues while accumulating one of the largest fortunes in Rome. Seneca was so rich that some historians speculate that major loans he made to the inhabitants of what is now Britain caused what became a horrifically brutal uprising there. His critics' derisive nickname for him was the opulent Stoic. Seneca's response to the criticism is pretty simple. He might have wealth, but he didn't need it. He wasn't dependent on it or addicted to it, nor, despite his large bank account, was he considered to be anything close to Rome's lavish spenders and pleasure hunters. Whether his rationalization was true or not, or whether he was a tad hypocritical, his is a decent prescription for navigating today's materialistic and wealth-driven society. This is the pragmatic instead of the moralistic approach to wealth. We can still live well without becoming slaves to luxury, and we don't need to make decisions that force us to continue to work and work and work and drift further from study and contemplation in order to get more money to pay for the things we don't need. There is no rule that says financial success must mean that you live beyond your means. Remember, humans can be happy with very little. The opulent Stoic. So that's one of the nicknames for Seneca. Being a fan of Seneca and Marcus Aurelius and Stoicism, I'm surprised that is one of the first times that I've actually heard him point blank called opulent. His wealth I knew about, but opulence is something that's completely different. But yeah, it's one of those things that, you know, in active addiction, in my experience, I never felt I had enough. I mean, even being dead broke, I still felt like I never had enough. And I mean, I never had enough of like what was in front of me, because I was never worried about what was in front of me. I knew it was gonna run out, so I was worried about how to procure or what was next. So it wasn't like the drink that was in front of me, the bag that was in front of me, like it didn't matter. It was like, how was I gonna get the next of those? And sorry if any of that's triggering, I apologize. I don't mean for it to be, and I also don't like the word triggering. I think it's more cognitive cues. I think these mental red flags go up where, you know, we should be like, oh shoot, like this is bad, what's happening? I need to like reel it in, because there's gonna be a physical relapse that's gonna come very quickly if I don't like get these like mental aspects under control. Anyway, back to this, is that it's true, is that we can live happy and healthy and sober and joyous lives with things that we have already for the most part. I mean, when you think about it, there are people in countries that are living in poverty that might only have one soccer ball in the entire village, and the kids and the families are as happy as can be. They're happy to be around their loved ones. They're happy to have a roof over their head. They're happy to be able to just go out and be kids and play. They're happy to be parents who know that their kids are safe. They're, you know, they probably still have a lot of concerns. They worry about their child's welfare. I don't know. I don't have any kids, but from talking to so many parents, I know that that's always a big concern, is worrying about your children, that never stops. Like, your kids may no longer be kids, but they'll always be your child type of mentality, you know? So we grow up and we become our own adults, but we're still our parents' children. And that's one of the things that, you know, in this move, tomorrow I have the Red Cross and Purple Heart Society coming. I'm donating bags upon bags of stuff that is useless. I mean, not useless, like, it is extremely useful to someone who needs it, but like, I don't need X amount of like boxers or X amount of shirts or other stuff. Like, I'm trying to live as Spartan of a life as possible. And like, my new place, like, when you walk into it, like, you would think that, like, I mean, it's not even worthy of being called like a display like apartment. It is like a bare bones, here's a chair, here's a couch, and here's a bed on the floor. Like, it is, I am trying to figure out ways to live a very minimalist Spartan life. Now, I know the whole Marie Kondo thing was like a craze, and everybody was Marie Kondoing every aspect of their life. Even their friends are like, oh no, I'm just gonna cut these people out and do all this. But that's not the purpose. The purpose is, for me, in part, service work. Like, because I know I don't need all of this stuff, I don't need to bring it with me, I don't need to just accumulate stuff to accumulate stuff. You know, I've stopped buying things and had stopped buying things for a while now. I mean, I haven't even had a car since 2011. I donated it to the Purple Heart Society for veterans, and I stopped driving in 2009. So when you think about it, it's like, you know, I was learning those lessons pretty early on. I just didn't know that that's what I was learning. And then now, after having so much time underneath my belt and realizing that, like, as long as my family's around, my friends are around, my fellowship is around, that I'm able to hit my meetings, do my service work, read my literature, you know, go about my day and make sure that I spend every 24 hours sober, then yeah, you know, and then I'm keeping my mental health in check, and I have, you know, a positive, you know, physical and mental health situation going on, then I do have all the things that I need to be happy, to be content, to be at peace, to experience joy in this life, and to enjoy life and to truly live it. And I don't need all of the materialistic things, and I don't need to work and work and work to be, you know, wealthier or richer, to buy more and more materialistic stuff that I don't actually need. So I really liked that reading, and that's the strength that I've gained, not only from life experience but also from the fellowships, is that, you know, I know people who had like bags of spaghetti, like literally Ziploc bags, and they would put spaghetti in, and like that would be like their dinner. Some people who didn't even have food, so it'd be like, all right, do you want to just like go grab some dinner after this, you know, like the meeting after the meeting, you know, fellowship, things like that. You know, it's, you know, we come from all different walks of life in the fellowships that I'm in. So, you know, it's the whole adage of like, one man's ceiling is another man's floor, type of thing. And I don't think that I'm any better or any worse. I think that we're all on the same level. Now, some started up here and came down, and the universe decided to slow them down, which is what happened to me. And some people were down here and then slowly came up, and now they're on the same flat level, like a tabletop. Everybody's on the same level. We're all just putting in our 24 hours, day in, day out, doing what we can to protect our sobriety in whatever form or fashion that may be. You know, I'm not one of those people to push recovery on people. I will try and help people I can, as long as it doesn't jeopardize my own recovery. But I also realize I don't need materialistic things to make myself happy. I have all the things that I need in my life to be fulfilled and content. So that's my hope for you, is that you are able to step back and appreciate and find the simple things that you're grateful for, that you already have in your life, because the things that we do have in our life aren't permanent and they won't be here forever. And I'm not just talking about people, I'm talking about everything, our youth, you know, our energy, our ability to do certain activities. It's just the nature of life. So being able to step back and be very appreciative and thankful and grateful for all the things that we do have in our lives that are already capable of making us fulfilled and having a whole life without having to work to add more material possessions to our lives. I have zero interest. I have never even really watched the show, but I have heard the term, you know, growing up, keeping up with the Joneses. Now it's called, you know, keeping up with the Kardashians. I don't need, you know, some ridiculous like house or car. Obviously I don't need a car. I haven't had a car in over a decade. You know, I don't need a house. Like, you know, an apartment is fine. Keeping things small, keeping it a very Spartan lifestyle is small, because what I do have when I leave that door in the morning, eventually once I move, is I'll have my fellowship. I'll have my home group that will be like literally walking distance. I will be walking distance to my lab and to my company's lab and headquarters, and to startups, and to school, and to all of these wonderful opportunities of these like museums and art and culture that exist here in DC. So I'm very blessed and fortunate that like my family's still alive, my friends both in and out of the fellowship are doing well, and that, you know, when I woke up this morning, I woke up sober, and that I'm planning and hoping to go to bed sober tonight. And that is that's something that I hope for all of you as well. So you can please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please watch and like our videos if you like our videos, and please use the comment section. I know from the direct messages and Messenger and WhatsApp and the DMs and whatnot and private messages that people seem to prefer over these past few months just talking to me one-on-one, which I totally appreciate, and you know, I'm more than happy to continue to do. But part of the accountability group is building this network of individuals where, you know, newcomers and people with time alike can kind of hold each other, can hold each other accountable, and provide this like knowledge base where newcomers can talk about what they're going through and ask for advice, and people with time under their belt can share their experience, strength, and hope, and their wisdom and knowledge, and their blueprint for, you know, their like success and instruction manual for navigating life and recovery and proper mental health care. So that's what I hope for you. So please, you know, subscribe to the YouTube channel and reach out to me. You can reach out to me on Twitter at @tagbuildinghope. You can reach out to me on Instagram at @tagrecovery, Facebook, the accountability group, obviously the theaccountability.group website, and then here on YouTube. But with that, I hope that you realize that it's the simple things in life, and that a lot of the stuff that I personally need, actually all the stuff that I personally need, in order to have a fulfilled and content and happy life, I already have in front of me. I just need to put my lenses on and see how there are so many positive things in my life, and appreciate them and be grateful for them, cherish them, embrace them, and acknowledge them, and tell the people that I care about that I love them, and that they've made a positive impact on my life, and that I'm so blessed and fortunate to have them as friends and as family members. So with that, I hope that you stay safe, stay strong, and stay sober. Again, I'm Josh, the founder of the Accountability Group, and I am Josh, still in recovery, battling the diseases of addiction and mental health. Thanks for letting me share.